Hello Pisces, slightly different setup today. I'm using this lovely old chest of drawers, which could do with a varnish, but I quite like it the way it is. Um, your energy is a bit icky, or it started a bit icky. The main message that came through that was that you may need to do some sort of cleanse, release, um, whether that's a psychic cleanse or like a detox, like a physical detox, or like an emotional purge. It feels like there's something that needs to be gotten out. Now it's coming through as like some kind of toxin or toxic energy within your system, whether that's your body. For example, if maybe you were drinking last night, you need to cleanse the system a bit, drink some water. It's funny, Aquarius got that message too. Or you need to do like a psychic cleanse, maybe burn some Palo Santo or some white sage. I've got some Palo Santo on the go for you there. Also something about rituals. Oh, something just fell for absolutely no reason there, which is interesting. Yeah, something about rituals, about if you have certain rituals and you've neglected them, especially ones that are kind of holistic or spiritual, perhaps tied to your religious beliefs, or even things like yoga. If you've let those slip a little bit, maybe go back to them. I'm having some difficulty with like my mouth and my throat. I feel like somebody could have some kind of, when you get a lump in your throat, like when you're crying and you get a lump in your throat, or when a bit of food goes down the wrong way. It feels a bit like that. Okay, so yeah, make sure you, I don't know, cleanse your space, do a bit of feng shui, look after your body. The energy, especially when I started to tune into it, was very like unbalanced, upset. I feel like you could be perhaps fearing the worst, or looking at the wrong side of a situation where maybe things aren't as bad as you think they are. So the songs that came through for you at first was Survive by David Bowie and Ritual by Rita Ora. So yeah, this thing about rituals, it felt like, it feels a bit like it could be some kind of miscommunication, or whatever it is, whether this is some sort of relationship where you think the relationship's coming to some sort of end. I feel like it's just because everybody's got maybe a bit too emotional. Sometimes when things get too emotional, you have to take a step back. So it could be this kind of need to take a step back, a need to reassess. Because then the song that came through, once I kind of got back into my system, I drank some water, I burnt the Palo Santo, I did my little rituals again. This thing about prayer, possibly. I do a little prayer before I set up, and I got stuck. I couldn't remember the words for a moment. So it feels like maybe distracted, or pulled away from your rituals, pulled away from the things that you like to do, because it keeps you grounded. So watch out for that. So once I redid it all, I got Thank You by Cornell, which is a much nicer song. So it says, if the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. Inspiration is what you are to me. Look and see. So I don't know, I don't want to pull too much out of it, because I feel like there's like messy emotional energy that's clouding. It's so funny because it's the exact opposite of what I just had for Aquarius. Aquarius was like, Aquarius, you're completely in your head, no emotions at all in this reading. You can't figure things out because you're not using your intuition. You don't have all the tools in your toolbox because you're ignoring your feelings, you're ignoring your passions. It's like, oh, I'm above that. But now, Pisces, you're like all emotion. And it's like clouding your judgment. So I feel like we've swung in the other direction here. Right, let's see. Water signs, what am I going to do with you? If you notice the scratches on my arm, by the way, I carried a shopping bag home today, and it's scratched my arm. It's quite heavy. I had it over my arm, and I was kind of like carrying my coffee and had my phone in my other hand, so it's just scratched my arm. So it doesn't look very nice, but it's nothing to worry about, is what I want to say. So oh, there's a little girl outside going home from nursery. She's like jumping up the curb. Very, very sweet. Right, again, this feeling of like being very distracted. I don't know if you're very distracted, you know, your head's in a different space, you know, can't focus on the things that you should be focusing on, something like that. A little bit out of your system, like out of the rhythm that you'd normally be in. Just feels like off pace. Okay. Right, Pisces. Let's sage, meditate. There you go, immediately, look at that. Spirit, balance. Oh my goodness, purple could be significant. Both of these cards are very purple. The philosopher, that does feel like you actually. The philosopher. The green is associated with the heart chakra as well. So you could be feeling very emotionally philosophical at the moment. Let's see, spirit and balance. I like these. Very Libran energy. Spirits I'd associate probably with like the High Priestess, and so therefore Scorpio energy. Doesn't have to be those signs. Just what I'm picking up. The colour purple could be very, very significant. Purple is a colour that's associated with spirituality, individualism, kind of psychic connections. So yeah, it definitely feels like something's upset your kind of psychic, emotional equilibrium. Okay, let's see. So we've got number 8 and number 1. Okay, I hope you can see this. I'm actually going to double check that I'm recording because I don't have the best battery at the moment. Hopefully it's going to focus as well. Okay, so you are truly awesome. I love it. Pisces! You are truly awesome and your own creator. Spirit appears to us when we are gearing up for another steep learning curve on our spiritual path. Oh, you might be having a bit of an ouch, an emotional ouch, okay? Take it as a lesson, take it as something to learn from, something to experience, part of being human, and therefore a good thing, right? He connects most strongly with those who have begun to work on themselves. So that's a good thing again, right? You've begun to work on yourself, so therefore you're open to learning lessons and are well and truly underway with their spiritual journey. So again, a good thing. You're doing the right thing, Pisces. I can't speak. What is it with this reading? His arrival frequently precedes those whose job it is to work for the planet and humankind. The dragon spirit connects with those in particular who have embarked upon the transitional journey of deep self-healing. Pisces, does this sound like you? Those who have embarked upon the transitional journey of deep self-healing and of self-understanding, and those beginning to recognize the bigger picture within the circle of life. That sounds so like you. He reminds us that everything is interconnected. There is no separation. He says, there is no you and I as separate beings. We are all one energy. So funny because that was a message that was coming through for Capricorn's reading, which I haven't actually done yet, but will have already gone up by the time you get this reading. If he has swooped into your reading today, he says, call upon my energy to support you as you prepare for your next step of your amazing journey. You will go through a myriad of shifts and changes, self-doubt and euphoria as you embrace the next deep learning process. Sorry, that amazing journey, it was giving me Bill and Ted. So I don't know if anyone's been watching the movies Bill and Ted. Maybe that's the names Bill and Ted mean something to you. Maybe you know people with those names. I am here to guide you through. Those shifts and changes. You are a spiritual being in physical form, and you have the potential to live a soul-filled spiritual experience on earth. You are truly awesome and your own creator, so embrace what is to come on the next leg of your journey. If you're feeling spiritually disconnected, that's what I was feeling, spiritually disconnected or lost or simply overwhelmed. God, that is exactly what I was picking up on. Call on Spirit to guide your way. Your job here is to watch and listen to your feelings, sudden flashes of inspiration, and always signs and symbols from the dragon clans. I mean, it's a dragon deck, okay? I'm not saying there's actual dragons. Although these are sent by the dragons, they can be subtle, so be aware and look out for them. Meditate with Spirit and ask for his guidance to inspire and enlighten you. Okay. So yeah, make sure you do your rituals, even if it's just like I'm debating whether to give you what they just gave me. Okay, swear warning, it's a bit crude. They gave me shit, shower, shave. So that could be it. It could be that your ritual is simply go to the bathroom, have a shower, make sure you shave. It could be like that's your what was that weird laugh? It could be that's literally your ritual, and you know, if you miss one of those things, it puts you off for the rest of the day. So make sure you do whatever your ritual is, even if it's something as crude as that. You know, it feels like having your systems in place. I'm getting very Virgo energy. Like having your systems in place, having like Virgo in Mars, having your routines, having your way of doing things, actually keeps you quite grounded and actually keeps you quite like feeling like you're stable, feeling like you're operating from a good base where like everything's going well. You got up on the right side of the bed, you SS and nested, and yeah, you're in your rhythm, you're doing your thing. It feels like that. So especially if something's going on for you at the moment, which is very emotional. So if you're doing that shadow work, if you're doing the you know, those deep dives into your shadow self, your emotional like they show me like the ocean space. So yeah, if you're doing that deep like soul work, you want to make sure that your physical environment is as stable as possible, because it's going to give you that sense of groundedness. So yeah, okay. Balance. What you are experiencing in your life now is transitional. You've got two things about transitions. This dragon, balance, depicts aspects of us as a whole, our light and shadow sides. As humans, we show the world our many different sides, for we are multifaceted and can change from situation to situation. This is very Libra. Just to say as well, if you connected with that, an Aquarius, Aquarius was operating very much from yang energy, which is the masculine energy, and they completely shut down the one half of themselves. So this is a real call to remain connected to both your masculine and feminine side, the shadow side, and the light side, to the yin and the yang. You need to be operating as a whole individual and not kind of like shutting down different aspects of the self while you work on other aspects, right? These aspects could include our compassion, frustration, love, irritation, joy, and so on. His appearance in your spread is to remind you that everything is perfect, even if the situation you find yourself in is pushing your buttons. Balance says, fear and frustration only serve one purpose, and that is to disempower. That's really interesting. Fear and frustration can only serve one purpose, and that is to disempower. Life on Earth is all about achieving a personal equilibrium, seeing things for what they are, balancing your daily activities and demands with time to laugh and play. You run the risk of becoming too serious and caught up in the dramas that are unfolding in your life right now by not allowing yourself time to play. That sounds like Virgo's reading. Virgo had a very similar message as well. You can call upon my energy and wisdom to guide you to be more balanced in how you view or feel about your situation. You cannot have darkness without light. That came through for Capricorn. You cannot have darkness without light, the sun without the moon. Do you need to learn to say no, or to look at your personal boundaries? Are they being crossed? Interesting, you did have a card, I think it was from this deck, about boundaries. Pisces, you are a sign that tends to struggle with putting up boundaries. So whether you're Pisces rising or you have Pisces in different aspects of your chart, make sure that you have those strong boundaries in place where you're not going to let people take advantage of that very compassionate, kind, water energy heart, right? So yeah, boundaries up. That doesn't mean you have to be defensive. It doesn't mean you have to keep people at a distance. It just means that you need to know where your limits are, you know, what you're going to accept and what you are going to have a problem with if people cross those boundaries. Maybe you should say yes to things. Maybe you should say yes to things, which, although they make you fearful, will assist your personal and spiritual growth. Aha, I've got it. Remember that what you're experiencing in your life right now is transitional. It won't last forever. This is much of life. It's a phase, a lesson, and it too will soon pass. That's a slightly different version of that quote, which is why I kind of mangled it slightly. It too will soon pass. It soon... Right, okay. If you find yourself in a perplexing situation, ask for his wisdom to be bestowed upon you. Balance will guide you to understanding, to know in your heart what you can do, or indeed if you need to do anything at all. Sometimes all that is required is patience. Oh no, Pisces, we've got it again. Libra and Pisces, having to be balanced, having to be patient. I keep spitting. What is that? I'm so gross. Being in the yin energy, being in the cups energy, being receptive, being supportive, but being balanced and maintaining clear boundaries. Okay, I'm just going to pause and have a drink of water because I think that's going to help. Again, anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. So there's going to be a reason why my mouth has suddenly gone very kind of like dry and like my throat's gone scratchy. Absolutely fine for Aquarius. And then as soon as I've got into your energy, it's like I can't speak. So whatever that is, I don't know. It's like there's no issue with like I mean, like, I'm thinking of like people who I know who are Pisceans, and like the adults are fine. My son is a little bit he did have slightly delayed speech when he was younger. He had a lot of ear problems, which meant that he couldn't hear as well, so he had trouble forming the words. But I'm just thinking, I don't think it's like a common thing that Pisces have like speech issues. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? I'm just going to take the one. My deck still is a brand new deck. It actually came during Aquarius's reading, so it's a bit sticky. So I'm just going to take Star Mother. But you've also got Starseed, what lights you up, and trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Yeah, the niggle. What do we have on the underlying? Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Interesting. You may have somebody who's overprotective of you, is what I'm getting from that, with cut the cord. Or you're overprotective of someone else. So are you giving your power away to somebody else because they're protecting you? Was it, I think Sagittarius had protection from a powerful friend. Okay, so protection, call back your power, and that leads into Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Okay, this is a new deck for me, so brand new card. Definitely has that Mother Mary aspect of it, doesn't it? Which again came through a little bit in Aquarius's reading, with like that divine feminine energy. 48 could be a meaningful number for you. Okay, I'm going to stand up so I can see. I'm a bit worried that it's going to start going blurry. You are more held than you could possibly imagine. Loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew, you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her Let her rock away your fears. Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame and guilt on her altar. So it doesn't have to be religious for you. I believe it's got a Mother Mary influence. If you're not particularly religious, it could indicate your actual mother, or it could indicate, like the mother goddess, like the divine feminine spirit, the yin energy of the world, of the one consciousness. So whatever it represents to you, okay, however you want to do it, it could just be your own higher self, your own divine feminine self, right? Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. Your capacity to love and to hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. Again, Aquarius had a similar message. Be compassionate with your sweet body, mind and soul. Treat yourself like the beautiful spirit that you truly are. Remind yourself that you're doing your best and try not to carry it all on your own. You have got this, and the mother has got you. Let her broad arms take away your burdens. Let her lift the weight of the world off your shoulders. Forgive yourself, my dear sweet child of the earth. So it's got like an inquiry, like a thing to ask yourself, and it's how can you mother yourself? So how can you mother yourself better? If you imagine yourself as your own star mother, imagine your higher self, your spiritual self, your higher soul, the best version of yourself. Imagine that higher self as your own mother. What would you tell yourself? Imagine you're going back to your childhood and you could find yourself sat alone in your bedroom, or where alone somewhere, or go back to those moments in childhood where you feel like you made a wrong decision, or somebody hurt you, or you still feel a lot of pain or regret or guilt over it. Go back to those moments as your own beautiful kind of more mature version of yourself, and go back, and what would you say to yourself as that child? Would you give yourself a hard time, or would you say, I understand that you were hurt in that moment. I understand that you made the wrong choice, but you did it. We all make wrong choices. We all have to make mistakes in order to learn and grow. What would you tell yourself, in those moments? What do you wish somebody had said to you? So maybe spend a bit of time meditating on that, thinking that through. It could be very healing for you. But I was picking up on this for somebody, don't allow your own guilt to kind of weigh you down. Forgive yourself. All right? I was picking up that somebody was working on that. Because that's the most important form of forgiveness as well. Even if you've made a mistake and somebody can't forgive you, understanding why you made that mistake and understanding and learning from it and growing from that experience allows you to carry it in a way that it supports you and makes you a stronger person who's not going to make those same mistakes again. And it allows you to advise others. So your soul grows through making those mistakes, and recognizing that and forgiving yourself is more important than forgiveness from anyone else at the end of the day. Angel Delannoy, perfect. This is the angel that guides you through the night. It guides you through the shadow work. It guides you through those difficult soul journeys that I know that you've been doing for a while, Pisces. So they're giving me, it came through for Capricorn last week, not the reading that will have gone up on Thursday, but the one before. Little Star by Khalees. In the dark of the night, you're all I can see, and you sure look like a star to me. So The angel de la nuit does guide you through those difficult periods, the transitions, the soul work. So you're supported is the message there. Emotionally, please. Emotionally for Pisces. Page of Swords has been coming out a lot. So very introspected. You are learning. This is in your emotions. You're analysing your emotions here. You're gaining information. You're kind of being a bit of doing a bit of recon on your own emotions right now. You may feel like other people are watching you as well. There may be a bit of a sense of paranoia. You may feel under a microscope is what I'm getting. You may feel like you're being studied. I'm sorry if you feel that way from me. Again, I read for the people who come to my readings. If you don't come to my reading, then I'm not going to read for you. I'm reading for general Pisces energy. So if it feels very, very personal, it's not. The more you connect with my energy, the more I can connect with yours, is the way that this works. There's the end. Did you see the way that flew out? It literally was like it had been fishing line hooked out of my reading. Yeah, you're getting, absolutely. There's could be like an ancestor on the other side, a spirit guide, you know, whatever you think is beyond the veil, whatever you feel is beyond the veil, you are being guided through this, you know. You are being supported and you're doing that deep work, especially with that philosopher card with the green representing the heart chakra. You're really doing some real like deep transformative emotional work, Pisces, and you have been for a while. And I feel like it's going to be very liberating for you, like emotionally liberating. So it's difficult, you're really in the, you know, it's a process. You come out of the murk, you go back in the murk, right? You get balanced, you get unbalanced. Again, it's that's what yin yang energy is, you know. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction, if you want to put it that way. And you're gonna, it's an ongoing process. It's not like Pisces did some shadow work, boom, Pisces is healed. There's going to be new things that come up, new situations that come up in your life, new things to handle and juggle and navigate. That's because the universe knows that you are ready to negotiate these new emotional things. Three of Wands. You've made some sort of decision here emotionally. I'll find out more about that when we pull more cards, but yeah, this is like, it is a bit like being in a bit of a waiting period, being in a bit of a holding pattern emotionally, where you've kind of made your mind up on something, or your heart has at least decided on a direction to go. But there's this period of like waiting for some kind of resource to come back to you, or some kind of investment that you've made to come back. So emotional investment, getting a return on that, and then being able to move forward with whatever this decision is that you've made. I'm getting told to split the deck and not to look at the underlying, so I'm going to do that. And it's the middle card that they want. So Page of Wands, you've got 2 pages. You are learning. Pages are students. So this is learning about passions, learning about things that make you fired up, learning about things that make you excited or passionate or hot-headed or angry, or all these different like fiery emotions. You're investigating those. I think like revealing parts of yourself that you haven't dared to look at before is the way that I'm hearing it. You could have 2 children as well, a fire sign and a air sign, but you don't have to. That's kind of like a side note. Okay. In your thoughts, you've got the 3 of emotions. You've got emotions in your thoughts. No wonder you're getting a bit of a wobble. Swords and Wands in your emotions, and emotions in your thoughts. The 3 of emotions is a card about the network around you that supports you. So you're thinking about friends, family, communities, support groups, people who are younger than you and older than you, who have have been there before, and people who are coming into these experiences that you've got a little bit of experience with. So you could be connecting with people who have a bit more experience with you in terms of thinking through emotional matters, and this is actually turning out to be quite supportive for you. If you look at this card, they're actually they're kind of like three of a kind here. I'm going to read the meaning of this card because it's lovely. Yeah, but it's finding people who are like you is basically the meaning of it. So, like shared experience is what I'm hearing. Friendship and joy, celebration, collaboration, looking to your soul family for support, spirit siblings, connected hearts, deep friendships, maiden mother crone connections, sometimes a love triangle. Prompt, soul collection. The three of emotions is the living, breathing entanglement of deep friendships and love connections. They begin as three beautiful muses, one a maiden, one a mother, and one a crone. And they had the most delightful of kinships, as unusual as it was divine. They spent their days sharing from the deepest parts of their spirit, truth, honesty, and vulnerability. You are getting a bit of Libra in here again. Their ties ran so deep, in fact, that they knew they were part of the same soul family, and over time they began to look and feel like one another. They had, sorry, I'm disappearing off the corner of the screen there. They had similar mannerisms and laughter and shared ways of seeing the universe. Eventually their souls began to link and entwine, and they forever changed one another's essence, as all deep friendships do. They invite you to fill your cup from their outpouring of love and to connect with your circle, and with those you choose to welcome to the heart of your family. I love our three hearts of essence and bubbly things like the strings of past, present, and future, tied to this soul family because I know you. Nice. I like that card. So yeah, supportive networks around you. Thoughts about this angel of Deloise for Pisces. Okay. So what you have here is a bit of a story. You've got a painful ending, a betrayal, feeling stabbed in the back, something that had to end. Moving on from this. Again, you've got this energy of like this supportive presence that's actually helping you to navigate an emotional space where there's danger. It's like it almost feels like people have fallen on these spikes before. It could be some sort of cycle for you. You know, it was painful the first time you fell into the trap the first time, whatever that means for you. So you've learned from experience now. It could be, again, this is your higher self guiding you. Learn from experience where you can navigate the difficult waters. You're not going to fall in and get overwhelmed. You're going to know how to cross this bridge. And walking away or moving away from something that was painful is actually leading you into Seven of Cups energy, which can be good or can be bad. It can be feeling a little bit overwhelmed because you've got a lot of choice, but it's actually very, very positive because you have a choice now. Okay, so it's like looking at your options. What do I want emotionally? But you're thinking about it. So thinking about your choices, thinking about what you want now from life after moving on from a painful ending or learning from a painful ending. So this is what the angel Delannoy is guiding you through. And then what is the Three of Wands, please, for Pisces? So Pisces' thoughts regarding this Three of Wands. Seven of Voices. There's some kind of deception here. So it doesn't mean there is deception, but it means you are thinking there's been some kind of deception. Now, there's two ways I can read this. The Seven of Voices can mean that somebody is wearing a mask, somebody is up to no good, being deceptive, and you've made an emotional decision regarding this because you think somebody's acting this way. Another way I could read this, with this moving on energy, is that you are thinking, you're strategizing, how do I move on here? But you're keeping it to yourself. Again, there's this kind of like hidden... Do you know what? There is something going on here where you're information gathering. it could be you hiding your motives here. You've made a decision in your heart space. You know that you're going to move on from something that because there was pain, but you're guarded about doing this. This may be through necessity. Six of Emotions, you've got a lot of nostalgia for the past, memories of the past, thinking about things that happened possibly in childhood, doing some reflection here. So you're revisiting, especially this happens a lot when it's time to move on from something, to leave something behind, leave something in the past. There is pain about, because you get the nostalgia, right? You remember the good times. So whatever this is for you, it doesn't have to be a specific, any specific scenario. You know, I can be quite vague with this, but as you prepare to move on, you remember the good times, you remember the smiles, the laughter, the fun, the holidays, the vacations, the all the good things. And this is what causes that hesitancy of feeling like I've made my decision. I know I need to move on, but I've got this moment of doubt where it's like, is it really the right decision? You do have this connection here that you can call upon, or you could be moving on from this. It could be a friendship group that no longer works for you anymore, a family that you know you need to move away from. You could have outgrown them. You know, this happens sometimes, especially when you're doing that spiritual work. You if the people around you aren't doing the same work on themselves, you know, if they're not working on the soul, you can mature, and the things that you used to enjoy, the good times that you used to have with them don't seem so good anymore. And it's like, I really wish that they'd do the work too and come along on this journey with me, but they're just not. Their soul is more immature than mine, and as much as I'd like to lead them through with me, that's not always possible. Some people are just not ready to do that soul work. So it could be something like this where it's like, there's pain as you move on from something. You've got a lot of nostalgia for the good times. It hurts to have to move away. You're being guarded about it. You're being strategic about it. You've made your decision, but you don't want to perhaps make your intentions known. You don't want these people to talk you out of it. You don't want these people to I'm hearing throw a spanner in the works. You know, it could be resentful. You know, these people who are normally supportive to you may feel a bit betrayed, you know. So there is a sense of secrecy and strategy here with this. Can you see the card still? I hope so. Right, okay. What battery am I on actually? 26. We've got time, guys. We've got time. As I said to Aquarius, when I say guys, to me it's a gender neutral term, so I'm not just reading for men. Just so if I say guys, I'm not trying to offend anyone. To me it's like friends. Right, action space. Virgo energy, definitely picking up a fair bit of Virgo here. Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race, planting seeds, waiting for them to grow. You're in that. It's been a bit of a theme for the week, this kind of watching and waiting energy. It came in for Libra originally with that kind of TikTok advert. Not TikTok, not like the app. I mean, it could be, but it was a Guinness advert with like, that's what he does. He waits. And then it's if you remember that black and white advert with all the horses in the ocean and the surfing. So waiting. I'm hearing packing bags, packing things up. Could be that if you're moving on from a home, perhaps you're traveling, perhaps you're, leaving where you grew up and you're going living somewhere else, moving for work. You may be packing things up. You may be working out, what do I give to charity? What do I throw away? What do I want to take with me? So it feels like preparing. Both of these cards feel like preparation. But this is physical. This is actually what you're doing. So preparing in some way, putting some work into something, moving forward, planting seeds of the future. Tell me about the angel down on the way, the Ten of Swords, Six of Swords, and Seven of Emotions. Why is the Three of Wands in reverse here? Temperance. Yeah, you're being very, very patient here. I think because you're in a very slow moving energy, you are in this kind of slow and steady wins the race energy. Up here in your emotions, it's like, I've made a decision, I'm waiting for my ships to come in. It could be that with Temperance, this is really trying to balance out your emotions and your passions. I just need to check that you can see what I'm showing you. Yeah, it's like needing to be very patient, needing to balance your emotions and your passions, taking your time. The lovely thing about Temperance is, although it slows us down, it makes us more balanced. It makes us, I'm hearing even keel, which is an interesting phrase. I don't know if somebody uses that. Even keel. It's kind of like a ship reference. So it's funny because this is the ships coming in card. You want your ships to have an even keel. You want them to come in slowly, because this is the investment and then this is the return, or waiting for the return. You may feel like you're not getting, or you're not seeing a return on your investment yet. So you're having to be very calm, be very patient, really trust. Sagittarian energy here, which is lovely actually, because I had a message coming through. There was kind of a connection between Libra and Sagittarius and Capricorn, where it was like, I mean, I haven't recorded this video yet, but it will have gone up by the time your reading goes up. So the message coming through for them is that Capricorn was expecting this army to invade. They could feel this kind of Sagittarian Knight of Wands energy coming towards them, like an army of Sagittariuses, and it was like this big energy, and there was this kind of like what's the right word for it? Not really fear or anxiety, but this trepidation, perhaps, this come what may energy, where they're waiting for this army to roll in. And it turns out that the army was an emperor who is very mature. So there's this thing about pulling back on the reins. It came through like the Chariot card and things like this, where it's like really harnessing that passion. And utilizing it rather than being ruled by it, or rather than being spontaneous or frivolous, is what I'm hearing. It's like really owning it, owning that passion, owning that drive, owning that, you know, even the shadow aspects of fire energy, really reining it in and becoming very powerful with that. So it's kind of a similar message here with the Temperance card. This is that fast Knight of Wands Sagittarian energy, but really slowed down, really temperate, really balanced. So a balance between emotion and passion. I love how the readings are talking to each other this week. Three of Wands and Seven of Voices. Three of Wands and Seven of Voices. And there it is, unleashed. There it is. Queen of Wands. So talking about Sagittarian energy, this is Sagittarius as well for me. Doesn't have to be. It's generally fire sign energy, and anyone can be in Sagittarius energy. This is very magnetic, very charismatic, very fired up. The Queen of Wands knows what she wants, and she will tell everybody what she wants, and she will go and get it. There's yeah, very confident, very passionate. Can we see her? Very confident, very passionate. Very strong energy. She's really harnessed that wild side, right? She's probably made a few mistakes. She's probably been a bit impulsive in her life, but she's reining it in now. She knows what she wants and how she's going to get it. So I love the Queen of Wands. Magnetic, charismatic, great leader, very warm, very nurturing. Really nice energy in the upright. So this feels like in your action space, unleashing that side of yourself. So perhaps not wanting to show this fiery side of yourself until the time's right, until you can really utilize it, because you've got a harness on it here. I love it. Tell me more about that Queen of Wands, please. I mean, this could be you. It could be somebody that you're moving towards. Yeah, you've been guarded with it. You've been patient. You've been holding back. You've been holding back that Queen of Wands energy, and you're going to let it go. You're going to let it out. Maybe it's part of the shadow work. Look at that tower. You could really surprise people. People could really be like, oh my God, Pisces, I did not see that coming. I did not see that side of yourself. Because what I'm getting here with the going back to this Seven of Voices, it's like maybe you're a bit of a fox, maybe you're a secret fox, Pisces, because that's her shadow side, right? This is the shadow self. So the whole point of up here, I feel like this is the strongest message that's coming through with your reading, with like the yin and yang, with the balance, with you doing that deep shadow work, right? Working on your emotions, working out what you're passionate about, what motivates you, what drives you. If we don't do that work, it can come out as shadow energy. It can come out as, I just saw 4444 on the timestamp. So foundation stability. So yeah, it's like if we don't do that shadow work, then this can come out as impulsiveness. It can come out as, even like with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it could be like jealousy, hot-headedness, temper, ego, even like sorry, I keep blowing a hair out of my face. Even like sexually, like it can be like sexually manipulative, or sexually repressed, or you know, somebody who sleeps around, you know, in the reverse. And so if you haven't done that shadow work, it can come out in kind of quite what's the word I'm looking for? Quite destructive ways, like the Tower. So doing the shadow work, really getting that learning how to hold back, learning how to be moderate, learning how to balance out the passions with the emotions, is utilizing it and making it powerful, like the Emperor in Capricorn's reading. So because the Emperor is all for kings, the Empress is all for queens. They've got a handle on, a real balance, a real handle on all the different aspects of the tarot, which gives them that strong energy. So I like your reading. You're doing all the right things, and you're doing it well, and you're doing it patiently, which is actually getting you to grips with that shadow energy, which I love. Really, really love it. Very mature. And I can understand why as well. Like, again, with this protection card here. Protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. I feel like this is part of it, because, you know, we can have friendships, friendship groups, people around us who are very, very supportive, who, you know, are on our wavelength, who we grew up with, I'm hearing, or like even like sisters, where these people are trying to protect us. They're our friends, they're our allies, they're on our side. But sometimes they keep us small, they keep us trapped, because they don't allow us to make the mistakes. Sometimes actually going out and being a bit more independent and making the mistakes brings you into a more powerful energy, where you can actually teach the people who follow you. So I feel like there is this kind of breaking away from some sort of group, where you need to go off on your own now and kind of put those ideas and lessons into practice. And I love the underlying card. Look at this gorgeous card here. But there's boundaries. I told you, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Because you had that twice now. And then look at this warrior woman. Like, she's like Queen of Swords energy with those boundaries, like Libra, Queen of Swords. Okay, so I love it. Look, she's like pushing them away. They're trying to protect her, but then she's like pushing them away. Again, with the Libra energy. Libra had, no, was it Libra or Sagittarius? I think it was Sagittarius. Had, swear warning, mama ain't raised no bitch. Which came with a message of don't let people keep you small. Don't let people be overprotective. You know, do the things that scare you. And for me, it was literally just going to the pictures on my own, you know, being that loner in the pictures. But it was great, you know, I'd totally do it again. So yeah, pushing back. And then look at this transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Things are changing at a cellular, I can't even say it. Deep healing, deep healing. And look at how powerful and gorgeous she is. Very much this gorgeous Queen of Wands energy. Very self-empowered, very like knowing herself. Confident. I love it. Love it. Reminds me of Katy Perry's Dark Horse. All right, let's get you an advice card. Really like this reading. Oh, hello. So I'm seeing Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Panther Spirit, reclaim your power, claim your independence. That's Cat Spirit. And you've got two cats together there, look. Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. Look, Reclaim your power, claim your independence. Trust in divine detours. So I'm going to go again because that wasn't very clear what they wanted to give me there. There was quite a lot. Can I get maybe 1 or 2 cards, please, for Pisces? 1 or 2 cards for Pisces. I don't think these are for you, sorry, but Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. Porcupine Spirit, time for a beginner's mind. Right, cards, you're being naughty. People connecting with this reading. Saturday, Pisces energy, advice, Wolf Spirit. There you go. Turn wisdom into knowledge. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name. Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. Right. Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. I feel like not Libra, Sagittarius again got this. It's funny, like, I don't know, there's real funny interplay between the signs this week. I feel like people, again, going off the message in that Capricorn reading that I haven't done yet because wibbly wobbly timey wimey, the message with that was what you admire. Basically, if you look at our full charts, the planets affect all of us. You know, you have 12 houses in your chart. So, can you see me? I'm really rude. It's really blurry again. You have 12 houses in your chart, you know, depending on your ascendant sign. So, you are affected by all 12 zodiac signs at some point as the planets shift around your chart. So, we are actually all one. We're all made up of the same elements, the same stuff. It's just arranged differently at different times. So when you start to see the zodiac as not just your rising sign, not just your sun sign, you know, I'm a Pisces. That's not the be all and end all, and that's why not all Pisces are the same. So when you start to realize you're all the signs, then what you can do is like look at other people and say, what do I like about that person? How can I utilize their energy in my own way? So a slightly embarrassing example is that I used to hide behind people in pictures. I used to hate having my photos taken. I've got a bit of face blindness, so I genuinely didn't know what I looked like. And that sounds weird, but it's like body dysmorphia. I didn't know what I looked like. So I didn't like seeing myself in pictures. Even pictures where like it was a good picture, it still made me uncomfortable because I was used to kind of seeing my mirror image. I had a whole thing about it. So, and it's to do with the way your brain recognizes patterns. So yeah, not very confident as well. I had acne, so I used to hide behind people in photos. Like if there were no photos of me because I'd hide. And there was somebody who I knew who took a lot of selfies and came across as being very confident and kind of knew how to pose. And I saw this person and was like, and other people as well, you know, like people like Kim Kardashian. I heard that Kim Kardashian took like 300 photos of herself before she'd pick one to post to social media. So you hear these things and you think, do you know what, I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to start to take pictures of myself. And at first it was so awkward and I deleted them all and it just made me really insecure and uncomfortable with seeing my own image. But the more I did it, the more I worked out what were my good angles, you know, what was good lighting, what was bad lighting. And I played around with filters and I became much more confident with my own image. And I think there was a sense of ownership of my own image. So again, that was like watching the way that other people do a certain thing where I feel like there's a lack, means that I can utilize some of those same skills for myself. So there is a lesson there with like seeing something in other people, then finding it in ourselves. And that was long-winded, but it is what it is. You know, we're all that we need. And I think that comes through that Star Mother energy of seeing something outside ourselves. And again, Aquarius had something similar, like seeing something outside of ourselves and wanting something because it represents an aspect of the self that needs developing more. I think is like the key message that's been coming through this week, which I love it. So now I do see clearly. After a week of readings, I do see clearly now. Okay, Wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. Wolf spirit leads you deep into the enchanted forest that holds the secrets to your life. Can you sense her beckoning you to follow, asking you to take all you have learned and all you are learning and make it yours? Can you integrate it all into your body, mind, and spirit? Whatever lessons you learned along the way, do not leave them unexamined. Be loyal to your dreams, to your soul, and to turning knowledge into wisdom and experience. Turning knowledge into wisdom and experience into magic. You are the one you have been waiting for. Be still and know that the sound of your heart beats in harmony with the whole world. The appearance of wolf spirit is an auspicious omen that says you are truly in alignment with your destiny. Pisces, well done. You're absolutely bossing it recently. Absolutely bossing it. And what I love about the wolf card is, like, if you think about that She-Wolf song by Shakira, it's funny because for Sagittarius, the wolf and the dog came out in the same reading, and it's almost like the dog is the light side and then the wolf is the shadow side, but in a way where the shadow side is utilized and owned and not scary. You know, it's like, I don't know, the like two sides of the same animal kingdom, if you know what I mean. Same with like cats and bobcats, I guess, like the tame side and the wild side, and balancing those out. I like these readings. Excited to finally do Cappy's reading tomorrow. Watch it completely mess up the whole flow. Watch it be completely different from what I'm expecting it to be. And it just stands out like a sore thumb. Like that. I don't know. Right, okay. Somebody's knocking on my door, so I'm going to go. Do check out that description box down below where I'm going to pull some more songs for you as advice and what you need to hear right now. And Pisces, keep rocking it. You got this. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye.